Right, welcome everyone. Work session will now begin for the ARB. First project is 29 South Maple. Comments from the board.
I wasn't sure why this was back on the agenda. I thought we approved this.
We went through it, but there were vinyl porch parts that they weren't close to matching the dimensions of the existing components. And it was going to give quite a different look from the original. And it looks like the drawings have not changed, but when I read the written description in the materials list, it looks like the vinyl has been changed to cedar, and it looks like some of the components are bigger, like the balusters are now 2x2. So it looks like most of the changes were picked up in that materials list, but they're not reflected on the drawings. And another item is I noticed that the lattice is still vinyl. And with all the other cedar porch parts, perhaps they could change that to a nice cedar lattice to be more compatible. So maybe we can review that.
Right.
Yeah,
Same comments.
and I was wondering if the elevations show pressure treated posts and lumber for the front porch, but then there's only cap and base trim. So is the lumber gonna get painted, or is it gonna be wrapped in vinyl or something that's more appropriate for a front porch? And also, a 6x6 PT isn't necessarily paintable to any good extent. So that's my question.
Mhm. Okay. We'll discuss that one. Next, we have 18 West Cedar Avenue. New addition porch and deck. Comments from the board.
It looks like all of the comments were picked up, and there was the requested clarifications were made about the windows. I think the one item was about adding a window on the east side of the new addition, because there's only one very small window on that addition. So maybe we can revisit that item.
Yeah,
Probably
Same.
in the bathroom.
same comment. I recall there being a request for additional windows on that north and west elevations being rather blank.
Okay. Next, we have 354 Lark Hill Court. This was the new windows.
I had no comment.
No comment.
I do think the casements look better than that slider.
Yeah,
So
I thought so too.
So can I just ask, so they're replacing the Chicago style one with like 3 even casements?
yeah, I think that as I recall, when we made the comment, it was to try to maintain the proportion of the Chicago style.
Yeah.
And have either that fixed picture window remain, and then have either casements or double hungs as the flanking windows. But they've come back with the casements, which does look better than the slider that was there previously.
Yeah, and we'd also commented that, sorry about.
No, about the thickness of the mullions. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really what I think was a big improvement.
We had commented that possibly those mullions between the windows were structural in some capacity.
Right.
So I guess our assumption is they're not if they do have 3 equal windows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd have to have the
Yep.
small and big, small portion.
All right. I think I was actually here for this. Okay. I remember
Resubmit,
that.
it's not-
Now I know you're. Okay. I don't really have any comment. This seems so clearish.
Okay.
Not that
Okay.
All right, well then I think we can move that to pre-approval. Next, we have 26 Sylvester Avenue. Comments from the board?
I don't think the front railing style is so appropriate for the front of the house. It's. Oh yeah, I'll make a board like you did, say it looks decky. Just being the 2x2 pickets on the 2x4 rails. And also I've done the same comment as my other project is that painted or wrapped or somehow otherwise for the front of the house.
I had the same comment, David, about the baluster configurations. If the guardrail baluster configuration would match the handrail, with a more traditional look, it would be a little more consistent and look less like a 1970s deck kind of thing. And then also a note from last time, it looks like it didn't get picked up and we can just clarify, is the front porch columns, the note describing the columns doesn't match the actual description. And I believe we had commented that those columns be square or rectangular. And they're still drawn as a fluted in a style that's not appropriate to the house. So it looks like the written description is good on the note, but the drawing does not match.
So I noticed they're also replacing all the siding on the house for just because, I guess, or
Mhm.
like you look at the house, it really doesn't, I don't know. I know that's not up to us necessarily, but doesn't look like it needs to be replaced. It's not a benefit to
Yeah, it says-
just putting different siding.
Maybe that's something we could clarify, because it says portions of exterior.
Yeah,
Mm.
I was trying to figure out if,
It's a whole house.
because it says new hardy plank lap siding select cedar mill. I don't know what that means, because it wouldn't be, was that just the style?
Yeah,
of
it's
the
like a
fiber
finish.
cement siding? And rather than just keeping, I don't know, I can't believe all those siding is rotten from the way the house looks, so. Old growth wood is the best thing you can get.
Right,
Okay, just a question. I'm
sure.
gonna ask another question. And I also wondered about those fluted columns a lot and the way that looks, but. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, if the railing's gonna be left simple, then maybe just a simple post that's
Mhm.
wrapped would be better than those fluted, this kind of style.
Yeah, like you said, make the railing more like a porch.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have 321 Arbor Lane, which we do have revised plans. So comment from the board?
I have no comments. I think the revisions are nice improvements.
Mhm.
I prefer the windows on the rear as they are versus the renovation or the revisions. And I'm not sure if it's possible for the homeowner to keep the back porch framing, but to redo the finish to be stucco to match the rest of the house. It seemed to be a odd inclusion to leave that last bit of siding in an otherwise all stucco home. I do like the heavy timber look or half timber look.
Yeah, I kind of like the windows at the back better, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
those were existing windows that were on the original house that I believe they were going to move into the addition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Move them out.
yeah. It would be nice to have, light in those rooms.
Are we approved to compare the two submissions, or do we toss the first one and only review what's submitted?
Well, I would think
I
that,
think we're just looking at what's in front of us.
we're looking at the revisions and then we can comment on the revisions.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a matter of just picking up comments. There's some other changes as
Okay.
well.
Yep. Okay, so we can discuss that. I think, if Tracy wants to come back. Next, we have 139 Oak Tree Avenue.
So it says garage and carport, but there's just a garage.
Right.
Okay, and like a patio.
And they're adding on. I was curious about if they've gotten a variance.
They're adding on.
To the garage.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, to the,
because they're encroaching the side yard setback, so. Felt like that would be good. No, and I know it's not our purview, but I think the stair has a head height issue.
I had no comment. Oak Tree.
the only thing I had on this was, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what Tracy said, but the windows don't all have the same trim?
Yep.
Yeah,
Seems like the existing, they didn't trim out, but the new ones they are, so maybe they should trim the existing to match.
yeah, right. Yeah. But that was the only thing I noticed. Some trim, some no trim,
Okay,
some not trim.
discuss that project. Next one we have is 47 South Rock Hill Road. Deck replacement. Comments?
I had none.
No comments.
No comment?
Comments here? All right, so we can pre-approve 47 South Rock Hill Road. Next, we have 43 Wilshire Terrace, new windows.
I was a little bit confused on this. Dials, but. On like casement casement and double hung, is that what they are? But they already have that, a mismatch or both, I think, right?
Hmm, no, I don't think so. I think they were changing the
Or was
double
that a
hungs
different
to,
I think this one, they were all double hung existing.
yeah,
And then the casements for the egress windows, was that
Yeah.
this one?
Yeah, and my only comment was that window number 3, they're replacing the 2 double hungs with a double slider, and I would just rather them replace the double hungs in kind.
Or with casements.
Or with casements.
Casements.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
that was
was
the
my
one I was looking at. There we are. That's the one I was thinking of. Okay,
Up here.
yes, but put it like the other, we have the other ones are casements and double hungs.
Right.
Make this sliding one a casement.
Right.
There we go.
That one. yeah.
Yes, that's what I was looking at.
And it looks like on the back, they're going to no grills where they have grills on the front.
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out too.
All right, we'll discuss 43 Wilshire Terrace. Next, we have 412 East Bradford Avenue, new windows as well.
This one, I just put a note that I couldn't even review the packet because I didn't know what was going where.
Same.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah, this one. So maybe this is one where I wasn't exactly sure.
It's hard to ascertain what's going on.
yeah, and the the photos are so small that, you know, the building, the image of the building is some cases is less than an inch big. So it's really hard to see what's going on there. Yeah, we need to see each window clearly marked on the exterior photos, because if we're just getting photos of the interior of the windows with no designation as to which window is where on the outside, it's just not possible to review.
Yeah.
I think this, in order to have a proper review, this submittal needs to be revised to where it's usable.
Also on the second page of photos, the middle picture, are these already installed too, which is a question to ask. There's no trim around the stucco. And I wonder if these are new windows that were already installed too. And then what recourse is there? In our review.
Yeah.
All right, next we have 857 Clark Avenue. This is the new residential construction. I believe they're also asking for a FAR increase.
Yeah, guess that would go first.
Right.
So all I got in my packet were site improvement drawings, no architectural drawings.
Oh, really?
That's.
I
Big-
did
yeah, big
not get that. I got 4 sets of the civil drawing.
Oh.
Here you go. This house is very similar to one on Marshall.
What's that?
This house is very similar to one on Marshall, across from Maypop. You go.
Oh,
Yeah. the same stuff.
so they. I didn't see that.
Yikes.
So they already had a FAR increase or?
No, they're,
No,
yeah, they're requesting one. And usually in the past, we get the FAR increase as a separate
Yeah.
package. But in this case, it looks like it came through all together. And while there's a lot of written information about the surrounding addresses and how big they are, it's a little hard to discern because we don't see graphically how the existing homes relate to the new house.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's a brand new, I've got my same view of everything. It's a brand new house. They bought the property. It was
Yeah.
the rules.
Yeah, I mean, that was just my question. Why is there a FAR
Where's the hardship?
request?
yeah.
Was really the only question I had.
So sorry, so since I've only seen this, so they're asking for a FAR and then,
New build, yeah.
With no hardship.
okay, yeah, I'm typically on that fence. I'm not on the fence, but with you on, if there's no hardship, why ask for the FAR increase?
That'll be a question, I think. All right,
Okay, enough.
yeah. We move on to 479 Sherwood Drive, interior remodel. Comments from the board?
No comments.
I have no
Again, sorry.
comments.
No, I didn't.
479 Sherwood Drive.
I had no comment.
Didn't either.
Anyone?
No.
Okay, I didn't either, so we could pre-approve 479 Sherwood Drive. We also had a preliminary. I don't know if people have comments on that yet, and we just got 479 Algonquin, so. Is on the list.
Do you just want to go ahead and review Algonquin real quick?
Sure. Let's do Algonquin.
Seems like that gable roof there, should we maybe make that a hip? That's not existing, is it? It's like one gable
The one, like this one right here.
sticking out. Well, I don't. Oh, sure that isn't- But see, like there's a gable here. See, it's just some like here. Yeah, here. And so it's here where there's,
Yeah.
everything else is a hip roof. But then there's this gable. I don't know where that is. Oops. Mhm.
I think I've seen on the north elevation that there's two windows into the garage that are not shown on the plan.
I saw that too.
What was that?
There's
North elevation.
two windows on the north elevation that are shown, but not in the plan.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't know that this canopy, they really gave the design any favors.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of a one-off.
Yeah, and just unsupported cantilever doesn't look like it's really serving any particular purpose in some locations.
Mhm.
It looks like on the front rendering, it looks like it's a bonus carport of some sort. It's like,
Yep, covered cars.
No.
You know, the directions it's at.
Oh, it does
Yeah.
have that.
Almost.
Yeah, and then that, the hip kind of dies in an uncomfortable way in the floor.
well, and then the Angela's point about the gable on over the main bedroom porch. It's the only gable on the home versus hip roofs everywhere else.
I don't think it's the only gable, but
Yeah.
it seems like the location's just
Oh, there's no,
chopped off.
There's one at the front.
Right.
Yeah, the front is different.
oh, I see. Well, and
Whole
also
different look right there.
Right.
the roof plan shows it as a 12-12 pitch, which looks right on the elevations, but then the other roof lines on the roof planner showed as 1-to-1,
Right.
but then they're more like a 8 or a 16-12 or something like that.
Yeah.
Be nice if they're all the same.
Pictures.
Maybe that's making it feel tall.
Taller.
Maybe that's making it feel taller.
Mhm.
Well, actually, it would go taller if it matches the existing 16-12,
Oh, yeah.
which I get it. I mean, that'd be really tall.
No, it just feels like a big mass up there.
But maybe if it were made into a hip, it would lessen
Yeah.
the massing.
Bring it
Yeah.
down a little.
Right, it would be similar to the dormer that's adjacent to it,
Yeah.
even if they're different pitches.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if it feels like it wants some structure, because again, that's another cantilevered roof in addition to the first floor. Pseudo carport roof. Which feels, I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking about the upper. Massing over the master bedroom porch or whatever that is there.
We just lost all of our teeth.
Oh,
But there's
we're back. Yeah, I thought that too, that over the master bedroom, it actually feels kind of modern in style to do it that way, and nothing else is that way. So it's, it'd be okay if it matched, but it doesn't match like that. Like, looks out of place.
Yeah, I think that if it was a contemporary addition with a little more coherence with the massing of the existing, I think that it would look better rather than being so different. And as far as that cantilever canopy, it just seems uncomfortably off, for the style of the rest of the house, that having some supports of some sort under there would look a little more coherent.
Yeah, I agree. It's just out of place. It's fine.
There's that single story structure. Off of the deck, which is in the photographs, which is kind of a little more modern.
Mhm.
oh, this guy over here,
Yeah, maybe there's,
Which thing?
the
Oh,
rear
Yeah.
guest house maybe, or
yeah,
I appreciate that. I think if that's an attempt to blend with that structure, it's not really doing
Yeah.
the job.
Mhm.
I was gonna say even that has corner mass to it, so. Okay, I think we're past our work session. Time, so we're running right into the official meeting. Welcome everyone to the Architectural Review Board meeting. We've completed our work session. Official meeting is now underway. Introduced to Koa Bell and Jim Bailey with the city. Jamie Hatzmeyer is our council liaison on Zoom. Carol Duncan, Tracy Collins, Angela Thompson, and David Yates, and myself, Bob Buckman, all volunteer architects sitting on the board. First item of business tonight is review of meeting minutes from October 2nd, which I believe 4 of us were present for. With that, may I have a motion?
I didn't get a copy. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 2nd as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, at this point, we do have a few pre-approvals, so I'll take motions on those next. First one is 354 Lark Hill Court.
I move to approve 354 Lark Hill Drive as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed? All right, 354 Lark Hill Court is approved, so if you're here for that, you're good to go. Next, we have 46, is it?
7.
47, thank you. 47 South Rock Hill Road, may I have a motion?
I'll move to approve 47 South Rock Hill Road as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed? 47 South Rock Hill Road is approved. And then 479 Sherwood Drive, may I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve 479 Sherwood as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, 479 Sherwood is approved, so if you're here for that, you're free to go as well. At this point, when we call your project, if you're here in person, we'll ask that you come up and introduce yourself at the front microphone. And if you're on Zoom, to raise your Zoom hand, and Tacoa will add you to the screen and we'll have a conversation over Zoom. First project is public hearings first, 29 South Maple Avenue.
I'm John Brabson, owner.
Hello, Tom.
Welcome.
Someone has their hand up.
Can you hear me? That's me. I'm the contractor.
Oh, okay, welcome.
Hello.
All right, just a couple, I think, a few questions on the lattice, the spacing of the spindles and the trim on the columns, I think was some of the questions we wanted to go through with you.
Mhm.
I know, David, you had asked about the columns.
Yeah, first comment is that the existing spacing of the pickets is closer together than the looks like the max dimension on the proposed elevations. Wondering if you would consider being more aligned with the existing to keep it looking like the original.
I'd have to
Really?
defer to the contractor to respond to that.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, absolutely. Whatever's recommended. So, 4 inches is code, but I got an email here that states closer to 3 inches is what you're looking for.
I can only guess from the photographs what that spacing is, but yeah, if you would take a look at that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can get them as close as need be.
And then on the elevations, it shows that the bare lumber, not bare lumber, but the posts and the railing structure is pressure treated. Is that being finished some way or wrapped? I saw a column base and capital called out, but nothing beyond that.
So originally the plans or what I wrote up were to be wrapped in all vinyl. I believe that has changed due to, I guess, the historic nature of the vinyl kind of looking, plasticky or whatever. So things were changed to wood. And it will be, what I understand is from an email, I believe the customer said he would paint or stain when the project's done.
That's correct.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I recommend painting it if it's
Yeah.
pressure treated. It's
Yeah.
iconic.
I think you have to wait 3 months for the pressure treatment to relieve itself, but
Yeah.
we would paint it white.
Okay,
That's
to
Correct.
match the-
okay, cool,
At
great,
that
Great.
time, if that's okay.
great. Yeah. I think that was those are my comments.
Yeah, I think I'm very glad to see that on the written description, it looks like you're retaining those existing brackets and reinstalling those.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've taken them off and they look like they're easily
Mm-hmm.
reused.
Great.
That's great. Yeah, I just want to verify because it's not shown on the drawings that it does get into the project. It is on the written description, but I think a lot of times people have a tendency to defer to the drawings. So we'll just make sure that that gets called out, that those brackets are going to be retained.
Sure.
Let's see. And then also too, at the perimeter of the lattice panels, it looks like you now have the 1x4 trim called out around the perimeter of the panels. Once again, that's not really shown on the drawings, but it is something we asked for, and I do see it in the written description. But it does say that the lattice is still vinyl. Did you consider changing that lattice to cedar as well, so it would match the rest of the wood porch parts?
I thought that's what we were going to do. If that's not the case, I'm happy to have it
It
in wood
is
rather than.
I
Okay, yeah.
apologize. It is revised with the wood 1/4 inch grid pattern
Okay.
lattice.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll just, read into the motion, so that's sure to be picked up. Let's see.
I had a question, if I may.
Sure.
So the front porch posts were originally supposed to be 6x6. And I believe in the last meeting, they were changed to an 8x8.
I think we were trying to get closer to the dimension of the original post.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, because I see that in the revision when we sent that to the customer. I know my father was in on the last meeting, and then I'm reading all this now and seeing that it was changed to an 8x8. So I was just curious on that.
Okay. Well, I think that answers the questions.
Mhm.
Just to clarify, because it does, I think with those revisions or clarifications, it does really it'll look a lot more like the original porch.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So I
Yep.
appreciate you guys clarifying that and for us. Before we read a motion, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone else present that wants to make a comment about 29 South Maple? Or online? All right, with that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 29 South Maple with the following understandings and clarifications. The original brackets at the top of the post will be reinstalled. The new posts will be painted.
Mhm.
The spacing of the balusters will match the spacing of the existing railing. There will be 1x4 trim around the perimeter of each
Mhm.
lattice panel. The lattice panel will be cedar,
And the post will be 8x8.
and the posts will be 8x8. Thank you, Dave.
Correct.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, have a nice evening. Next, we have 18 West Cedar Avenue.
Hi, I'm Matt Jane, the homeowner.
So, welcome
Good
back.
to see you.
Welcome back. I think we have just a couple of things on the
Okay.
list. And I can, I think the main question was on the east side, right? Was there anything added? That was a question. I don't know if you considered that.
We
Matt.
did add the small little bathroom window above the screened-in porch. That was new on the new addition side.
On the east side, okay. Yeah. That's,
And then also added one on the west as well.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think looks nice.
Yeah, and I do appreciate the clarifications on the windows and that those existing windows on the west elevation first floor will be retained. That helps a lot. Looks like we do on the west elevation have a pretty long expanse of siding on the first floor of the new addition. Did you consider maybe putting a window into the kitchen? Just a small one, even somewhat similar to the one above?
We hadn't, mostly because that was gonna be behind our kitchen cabinets. So if we were to, it would be if it was required from you guys, and we would probably make it, again, look good from the outside. But it wouldn't be a functional one.
Yeah, I mean, just as a practical matter, you can space your cabinets around the window.
It's, that center portion is right behind the oven and the range. So we don't really have the room to kind of move a window there.
Let me-
You know, you have no windows in your kitchen,
Mhm.
which is a little, probably not as comfortable as you might imagine. To me.
The-
I personally wouldn't care for that. Like you could put up a window a little higher and lower the cabinet,
We-
you know, higher.
I agree with what you're saying. It is a full wall with no windows. The other side of that will have a whole lot of glass windows and is open through the other side. So we were getting some natural light, but to your point, we
It's
just
too
didn't
bright.
have room to squeeze one in there to be able to fit the cabinets and the rest of the kitchen.
So the other area is too far away. It won't add light over into that corner. So that's a long way. So that makes for a long, you know, kind of a little bit of a long space without any windows, just, 'cause, you know, it's closed off and it'd be nice from the inside as well as the outside, to have something. It doesn't have to be big, but
I mean,
I don't know.
If
I
we-
understand.
If, we're- if you're requiring us to add one, we wouldn't probably make it, we would make it just look good from the outside for you.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the west elevation personally, I don't. I appreciate you guys adding some windows to it. I think it was a lot of blank walls, so.
Yeah, and it is quite visible from the street. I drove by there, and as you're approaching, you will see that full elevation in the addition.
Yeah.
And it is in the historic district.
All right. I don't think there were any other comments.
That's, I mean, to me, everything else was picked up, all the clarifications, everything was picked up and looked at. That's just that one item, and it is highly visible from the street.
Yeah. All right. Well. Guess if there's a question of anyone feels strongly that we need to add something, you're willing to add something, but not as a, it would just be a window that you couldn't use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna, if the only way we can get approved is to add it, I'll
Right,
make it look nice for you and do it. But,
Okay.
you know, we wouldn't make it a functional
right.
window on the inside.
I appreciate your cooperation. I'm just thinking about what Angela was saying. When you start getting that framed up and see how much light you're going to get into the kitchen, I don't think it's going to be very much. And, you know, when you end up spending a lot of time there, you do want it to not feel closed in.
What if
So-
we put a band board at the level of this around horizontally to break up the middle, just so there's trim, so there's, you know, just to make it something, so there's not the big.
And that would help. And it also, as it's being framed up and the sheeting's going on, you'll walk in and go, oh man, it's dark in here. And then you can easily add a window if you need to, if you want to during construction, because you'll see that there's no light there, you know, and it's up to you. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Some people want the cabinets, but.
but then the band board would help break up the facade as
The
it started.
outside. Just put,
Yeah, and there is, that freeze board. I mean, I think, if there was a band trim to match the dimension of that freeze board, I think that would help. And then,
just add some, you know, definition to the whole thing.
Just to break it up.
Yeah.
and then, depending upon how everybody feels, maybe we could put an option for that kitchen window in case when you get it framed up, you go, oh my gosh, maybe a window would help in here.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're willing to, maybe add the band board at the horizontal.
I'm not familiar with that is, sorry.
Yeah. Oh. Go ahead and draw it.
I don't know where that,
Trim to tie the house.
About that.
Okay.
so it's not siding.
It's just a piece of
up or
trim.
down, it just breaks it up, yeah.
It's just a piece of
It's just
trim
trim.
base.
Helps break up the mass a bit.
Sure.
See how that's, it's gonna work on the rest of the elevations
It
here.
won't be that much, it'll just be that west side and
So that doesn't
The
have to
rear.
wrap around or anything?
it would wrap around the whole.
Yeah.
Around the whole
Yeah.
part?
Yeah,
Okay.
but if it's at the level of your freeze boards, I think it'll work fine.
Just a little bit on the back and then on the
Yeah,
west.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Same level as the.
Yeah.
roof
Yeah,
coming
it
off
would
the
come
back.
around to the,
I got
See
you.
it on a lot of houses around here,
Okay.
you know, kind of look around at your houses with wood siding, and I know yours is brick, so you put it down them. But the houses with wood siding, you'll often see that where things like
Okay.
that continue from something to.
Sure. Makes sense.
yeah, and I think that helps with the north elevation as well. So if that's something that sounds agreeable, we could read that into the motion.
Yeah, that works. I think that'd be nice.
Okay, great. So public hearing. Is there anyone else present that wants to make a comment on 18 West Cedar Avenue? In person or online? Okay. Hello?
You're muted.
I'm not sure who.
Hopefully he knows, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff, if you're wanting to make a comment, yeah, please unmute. All right, I'm gonna say, there's no one that wants to make a comment, so with that, may I have a motion on 18 West Cedar Avenue?
I move to approve 18 West Cedar Avenue with the addition of a horizontal band board on the west elevation and north elevation, wrapping the whole addition at the elevation of the freeze board, first floor freeze board.
We add the option to put a window
Yeah,
in.
and we also leave an option for the applicant to add a window to the kitchen should they decide to during construction.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, approved.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank
Have a
you.
nice night. Next, we have 26 Sylvester Avenue. Anyone here present for? Okay. Hello?
Muted.
Hello, this is Paula Arbuthnot. I represent the architect for 26 Sylvester. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
All right, welcome Paula. And then we also have Brian.
Yeah, I'm the
Brian?
contractor.
Okay, welcome.
We would
Thanks.
like, if possible, to work through a list so that we can get approved yet tonight, if that is at all possible.
Sure. Absolutely. So there's just some questions and clarifications. Who would like to go?
I'll just ask a question first. I noticed you're replacing the wood siding all over the whole house. And I'm just curious, I assume, is it the original wood siding?
I'm pretty sure. It's
A lot-
it's pretty worn all over the house,
What do you mean by worn?
like rotted, splitting.
Okay. I admit I didn't do any sort of close examination of it, but in general, it looks pretty good. And most of the older homes, the wood siding would be old growth wood, which is going to last a couple hundred years. And most of the houses certainly haven't made it to 200 years yet. So I would be surprised actually if all your siding was in the condition that it all needed to be replaced. That would be unusual. Just to let you know, it certainly is not a benefit to replace all your wood siding. Fortunately, you're replacing it with fiber cement siding, which is, you know, a good quality siding as well. But just to let you know, it may not be necessary to replace all your siding at all.
This is what the homeowner requested. She's the one wanting to change out all the siding. So when I came over there, she's got an insurance claim also, which replaces her roof. And she was asking about updating the outside of the house, and that's really the only option to update the outside of the house to make it look the same as it does now, is to change it to hardy siding.
Right, but you're not actually improving the house if the wood siding is in good shape. You're not updating anything. You're taking away something of very high quality, actually, potentially, and just replacing it with, you're making it different, which, you know, here in Webster Groves, we like the old houses because they're made with the old materials that are very high quality. So I would hope the homeowner knows that in a way it's just a waste to throw away wood siding that's in good condition. It could last another 100 years.
I've done an inspection on the site too, and I concur with Brian. There's enough places where the wood siding is pulling away, has broken, and is not in its best condition anymore.
If it had
Are
been
spot
kept up
repairs
with,
an
you know,
option?
you pretty much have to power wash it and paint it every 5 to 10 years to keep, you know, to maintain the wood. So if somebody doesn't do that, then
So that's because of the paint. And and fiber cement siding also requires paint. So, yeah. Gotta
yeah,
paint
I
it too.
know. Well, she's only lived there I did her kitchen like 3 or 4 years ago. So she just had moved into the house 3 or 4 years ago. It's not like she's lived there and had the opportunity to do all that the whole time the house has been there.
Just as a note, my home is 102 years old, and I do have the original wood siding. And when I have it painted, I have a carpenter do any spot repairs that's needed on deteriorated small areas. And when it's handled properly, it does look quite nice. And just the dimensions of the original siding, the wood siding, is much more attractive than the newer hardy.
Yeah. And just, you know, so the age of it does not mean that it's not good. It actually means the opposite if it's wood. So, I'm with the notion of keeping the old siding and doing spot repairs myself. I have a house the same way, that the wood's almost 120 years old and it's in great shape. So,
There comes a trade-off when the siding 50% or more is in questionable shape. I realize this is a subjective opinion, but I'm seeing enough different areas on the building that I have encouraged that they consider James Hardie siding. I don't make that
Mhm.
recommendation lightly.
okay, just wanted to make sure the homeowner understands that in the world of updating your house, it isn't necessarily better. So I don't question that you have surveyed it, and I'm sure that there's some damage there. So it's just good to question that.
Thank you.
always.
All right, moving,
I think we had a few other items.
yeah,
on
moving to the
this.
front porch.
Yeah.
I think there were questions.
Yeah, my question was about the style of the front porch railing. It looked very, I'll use the word decky, or, not necessarily, it seems great for a deck in the rear of a house, but not maybe appropriate for the front of a house with the 2x2 pickets with the angled edges or angled ends. Didn't know if there was a consideration for a different style of front rail. Like
Do you have a preference for that site? There's aluminum balusters that could be called out, or steel balusters in railing.
Well, yeah, like maybe an ornamental iron of some sort, or it just looked kind of like it was just going to be made out of pressure treated 2x that would be left as they were, very similar to the back deck, which I don't have much of an issue with.
I mean, for me, if they remained wood would be fine, but just match the style of the baluster that's on the actual going down the steps. That's a more traditional style. So if the part that's a guardrail at the porch would match the stair rail with the traditional top and bottom rail, with the balusters terminating into the top and bottom rail rather than projecting over the side, I think that would do it. So I think for me, if it remained wood, that would be great. And if the guardrail just matched the handrail style, I think that would take care of it.
Yeah, specifically the front door entry handrail, guardrail.
Yeah.
That looks like it belongs to the house, and it looks like a front entry guardrail. So if you match that spacing and proportions, whether it was steel, aluminum, or wood, seems like it would be.
Yeah, we can probably have the railings fabricated. I am not familiar at the moment. It's been a few months. So matching the spindles, I don't want to get into a situation where we're hiring somebody with a lathe to make spindles. But if we can make note in the minutes of this that we will attempt to match what is already existing. And if you're sufficient with that, we will be happy to make that change.
Okay, so there was a question about the columns as well. I think we talked about what's on the drawings now are round.
Yeah, it's what's on the drawings now at the front porch, the new covered front porch. There looks like they're round fluted columns, more of a classical style rather than something that's a little more plain style. And it looks like the note that's on the columns is more what we're looking for, but the note does not match the drawing.
Can we make a part of the motion that we will match the note and not the fluted drawing?
Yeah, that would work for me. Yeah.
Okay.
So you also have on here one thing, sorry, were you finished, Carol? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That the replacing the shutters. Is that right?
I've got to look on the drawings real quick. Hang on. What page is that on, please? On the elevations?
Yeah, I think it said it's someplace. And I guess you're just replacing yeah, it says new shutters to match existing. So you're going to build wood shutters that match the existing ones, or?
Well, some of the shutters are not in good shape. There is a wood shutter company up in right off of Page that we have used in the past. I suspect the homeowner would like something that's more maintenance free, but I believe we will defer to the architectural review board for that, and the homeowner may realize that they have to do an upcharge on that from the contractor. I simply don't know right now because, like, I apologize, it's been a few months since I've been out to the job site to note the condition of the shutters. But several of them I know were not in a condition to be rebuilt.
Sure, I understand
So-
that. I'm just asking because it has real shutters and they're installed correctly and all that with the hardware. You could actually close these and cover the windows and the door. So if you're gonna replace them, really make them match them and like the size, and so that they look like they could cover your window, stuff like that. A lot of people put them up there and they don't look like they go with the house at all. Whereas these are actual old houses that had shutters. You could close them and it covered your window. So, and it's kind of the appeal of the whole thing. So if you're going to replace them with something, make sure they're the right size and all that they match what's here. Like on the first floor, you have the two big shutters and all that stuff. It's just kind of interesting on the house.
It does add interest, and since there is a company here in town that I've personally dealt with in the past to get replacement shutters and or rebuilt shutters, we can certainly address that with the contractor.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I think. How's everyone? We've been through the list.
Yep.
The only thing I was gonna add to the motion is that if the siding is replaced, that it matches the same exposure as the existing house. If that makes sense, because that's really a character defining piece of this house, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Am
it
I
depends if the
Yeah.
product comes that size. James Hardy Siding has got a number of types of siding in an effort to be a historical replacement. But offhand, we'd have to research that to know for sure.
Well, we would have to change it to cedar siding. Because we can get cedar siding in that profile. And she's still gonna have to paint it.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be painted, whether it's cedar or hardy, I think, right?
Right, you paint hardy siding anyway.
Yeah, it lasts longer on the paint.
Well, you can get pre-painted and then you just touch it up.
Yeah, it has a
But that
20-year
would work very good.
warranty, but you still have
Yeah.
to repaint.
Yeah,
The cedar has to be done before 20 years.
yeah. So
Yeah,
if we can't match the profile with hardy, then we'll just have to do cedar and paint the cedar.
I'm just looking at the house. I'm just asking the question because it goes back to what Angela was saying, if half the siding needs to be replaced and the other half does not, you would save the homeowner money.
This is what the homeowner requested to do, you know?
Right. So
It's not
I was
like-
just
I'm not
throwing that
trying to
out as a,
upsell. She didn't call me asking me to repair it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not, this isn't an upsell trying to get her to spend money. Like,
right.
this is what she wants. This is like her request. And she called me, I did her kitchen and she called me saying she wanted to get hardy siding. And then when I got there to do the bid for the hardy siding, I pulled a report on her house and it showed she had hail damage. And then I ended up getting her some money from the insurance company to do the roof. So then this is just the route we're on.
Minor repairs to siding is one thing, but when you're having to look at doing 50% and then trying to do repairs in between different slats, you end up pulling most of the siding down and doing greater damage. This is one of those rare instances where you can't just slip another piece of siding up in between two boards.
All right.
It still should be about the same exposure though. You know, you could get it close.
Well, that's fine. If we can make
You can get
notes
it
of
close.
that. If I can't get it close within an inch, we can switch to cedar. I'll just have to have her switch to cedar and so we can get the profile to match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think since the homeowner wasn't here, I just wanted to make the comment just to add to what was being discussed. So the homeowner's aware.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to I send her all this stuff right after we have this meeting so she can see it. Every time you send me the email, I forward it to her so she watches
Yep.
the video.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've got everything on this side, enough to do a motion, I believe. So with that,
I move to approve 26 Sylvester Avenue with the following revisions. The front porch railing is to match the existing railing. The front porch columns are not to be fluted and are to be square to match the note indicated on the drawings. The wood shutters, if replaced, are to match the existing shape and style. And then if the siding is to be replaced, it is to match the exposure of the existing siding.
Within 1 inch, please.
How about as close as possible? Is that what?
Okay.
as close as possible.
Yeah.
Good enough.
They've got lots of sizes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Ladies,
Good night.
you too.
You bet. All right, next we have, Harbor 321. And Tracy going to recuse herself. Hello.
Catherine Schreiber, homeowner, 321 Harbor.
Yes, welcome back. The changes are, I think it's, really, improved since the middle one, I believe. I think, to give all three sides of the addition a character that is similar to the house and certainly similar to the neighborhood. I think there was a minor question. I heard David say this same thing.
Yeah, minor, and it wouldn't affect, just a suggestion that, you're going to all this effort with the addition and all the changes. Could you, on the porch that's remaining, could you take the sheathing off or the siding off and do all of that in stucco to match the rest of the house? It almost seems to be cohesive if it's all stuccoed versus just that little bit on the bottom of that siding.
Could consider, it was wanting to replace like for like as far as shape, and aesthetics is because I have access through the contractor with existing product that
Mhm.
And I'm also, it's not on this plan because it's probably grandfathered, my garage, exterior garage, it is in very much disrepair, so that's where the synergy will occur
Ah.
with those.
Half timber
Yeah.
and the side, or the horizontal
The
side.
horizontal.
Okay. Yeah, just a suggestion.
But I did like the aesthetics of, I took that to heart with the body of the home and making from when you step back and macroscope look, it's
Mhm.
gonna look as if it was meant to be mated together,
Right.
I hope.
I agree. I think it's, yeah, it's so. If you wanna consider windows on the rear elevation, you could add them, but I don't think with all the half timbering, I think you've certainly added enough interest, I think. So I was fine with it,
I
personally.
I don't know that it was picked up, but we're also raising the interior ceiling height of the main level. So that's going to allow for, is that called a threshold window where you have thank you, I'm fumbling. A transom window for even more light into that main
Yeah.
room.
Great. All right, well, I think with that, may I have a motion?
What's the address?
Three
Yeah.
21 Arbor Lane.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve 321 Arbor Lane, with the option to do all stucco if you want, but not required.
And could we clarify that that's based on the revisions we received this evening?
Oh, yes. And this was based on the revisions we received today.
Thank you, yes.
All right, the second from someone?
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good evening.
Is there a question about hardy board? Is that on the approved material building list?
Yes. We don't have an approved
Oh, you
building
don't?
material
Okay.
list. Yeah, we were just talking about it, on the last project of the
Right,
exposure
sure.
limitations.
Well, I think also the hardy board offers a product now that's pre-color fast and does not require paint. It's very, very cool because it's
Well,
all the way through.
Yeah.
It does require painting. It just doesn't require it to begin with.
Right. In time.
In time.
It requires painting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
have a good evening. Thank you. All right, we can have Tracy come back. Next, we have 139
No.
Yeah. 139 Oak Tree?
Oak Tree Avenue.
Oh, I thought that was pre-approved. Sorry. No,
Which one you got?
I had no comment, but you.
Hi there.
Oh,
Hi.
I'm Kate Hagan,
Oh.
project manager,
Hi, Kate.
and
Hi, I'm Jeff McPherson. I own the house with my beautiful, beautiful wife, Lisa.
Awesome. Where's she?
not me.
She, but too beautiful to spend much time with me.
All right, well, welcome. There was a question about,
I was curious if you got a, variance?
I'm sorry,
Did you get a variance for the addition?
I can't hear it. What did she say?
Is there a variance for the addition?
No,
Okay. I just think that might be something we might need zoning to look at, just because the addition is encroaching on the side yard setback. Even though the building is there right
yes,
now and you want to add on to it, that's kind of your hardship, that the building is placed there. But I don't believe, and this is something the zoning department can check with you on, but I think we would have to get a variance for that.
they usually
Because you're
can't
only-
make it worse.
are you talking about the rear setback,
The side yard.
side yard
So
setback, the
you're
side
only-
yard? The current garage is there,
Yep.
and you're talking about even with that addition, you're proposing that they might need a variance?
Yeah, because we're constructing within, you're doing new construction within a setback.
Hmm.
So, I mean, yes,
So not for the existing garage, for just the addition part. So you would need to step the addition
either
Yeah,
step it to
because
avoid,
you're making it worse, basically. You're making it more of a, right, more space is in a place where.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's just, that's never been brought up and they've looked at these more than once. I just need you to know that.
Yeah.
These plans have been down there and reviewed a couple times. We've changed it twice.
Okay, yeah, it's our observation, so we're just mentioning it to you. It's not ours to,
No, I understand.
yeah, yeah.
I understand.
Just in case you get in trouble later.
But you want me to verify that he doesn't need a variance.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm on it.
Yeah, you don't want it to be told to you once you're out there. Someone notices it once you start construction or something. I mean, I don't know if they can even do that, but you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Right now,
understand.
it's just a drawing, so you.
Yeah. So beyond the fact that it may need a variance.
Yeah.
There was a comment about the window trim too.
Oh,
Okay.
I think existing
Yeah.
versus the new.
It seems like the existing windows are not trimmed out, but the new ones are.
Which looks nice.
So we just want to maybe add some trim to the existing windows just so they look.
The existing were not trimmed out well, yes, but the new ones, the idea was to trim them more appropriately.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'm hoping that's what you'd like.
It looks better with the
Yeah.
trim.
it looks better with
Yes,
the
they
trim.
That's all we were saying.
No, okay, good.
Okay. So you could have the option to trim out the existing to match if you.
I'll work on that. Jeff, you hear that?
I don't even know what we're saying, so sure.
We're talking about around the current.
Those windows, since I don't know when, and I never looked at them, so whatever you want to do is fine by me.
No, I think it was a suggestion, so
Yes.
it's not part of what you're submitting on. So with that, I think. Were there any other comments?
None.
Then we could have a motion from someone on 139 Oak Tree.
I will make a motion on 139 Oak Tree Drive pending zoning approval on the approved as submitted with the option for the applicant to add trim to the existing windows to match new windows.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Second.
Thank
All
you.
in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye, opposed. All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you both.
I'll find out.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Also, thank you for your service.
Hey, thanks.
On boards like this, it's a lot of work. I see the detail to which you're exploring these. I really appreciate you doing that for the folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to
Thank
hear.
Appreciate it. All right, next on the list is 43 Wilshire Terrace.
Hi, this is Stephanie MacArthur. I'm the homeowner.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hi.
Stephanie.
Hi.
All right, questions on your windows? Did we have any questions?
Yes.
David had a question.
Sorry, I was texting my wife.
Lighting window thing. This is. the-
Yes, this is Wilshire Terrace, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, the on the rear of the house at window number 3, there's 2 double hungs that looks like you're looking to take both out and put in a slider. And I was wondering if you would just consider doing 2 new double hungs.
Egress, they wouldn't meet egress if we did that.
Or the case.
Or casement. Casement we preferred too.
I think,
Stephanie?
yeah. I think he had suggested what is in the proposal, I think just because it was more cost effective, but he and I can chat about what the cost difference would be.
I think you have casements on your front windows, and just for consistency for the look of your house, I think it would be nice to have casements in that opening number 3. And they also tend to, I think, operate a little more smoothly and a little more consistently because those sliders tend to get debris in the track. And it's one thing if they're on a main level and you can wipe out the debris, but it's another thing if you can't open the window and you're on a second floor because there's debris in the tracks. So there's a practical consideration there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, he and I can talk about the cost difference and see if it's doable.
Okay.
All right, great. I think that was it.
Okay.
May I have a motion from someone on the board? He's on 43 Wilshire Terrace.
I move to approve 43 Wilshire Terrace with the revision that window number 3 will be changed from a slider to 2 casement windows.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? You're approved as noted. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have 412 East Bradford Avenue, also new windows.
Hello. I'm Pam Townsend, the owner.
Hi, Pam.
Pam, welcome.
Yeah, I drove by your house. It's very cool.
Thank you. I like it too.
It's really unusual. It's very distinctive. I was like, wow, I've never been over here before because I'd remember this.
Thank
It's a
you.
very, very nice house.
Thank you.
I think we're in a similar situation where the way the submittal is noted, we can't tell which windows go where because we have photographs of the outside,
Okay.
but the only labels we have about where the windows go are on the interior photographs, like it'll say living room or bedroom or something. But when we're looking at the outside, we don't know where those rooms are, so we can't really tell what it's going to
Okay.
look like. So I think for me, that's the main item is just,
Can I
yeah.
help you with that? To know.
And, you know, also too, the windows that you have, I think really add to the style of the house and it looks like they're being changed pretty dramatically. Was there a reason you were?
So the original windows, almost all the glass panes are broken and there is not cost effective to replace that because just the glazing compound is so hard in there, you would, and the wood is rotting. And so I like them how they are too, but they're no good. A lot of them won't close or they won't open. The prior homeowner put in some storm windows that are aluminum. They're all cockeyed. Half of them, they're like have gaps at the top. So literally air is coming in. I have a rental living there with a young daughter. It's cold. I had insulation put in and a gas fireplace, but still it's very drafty and some of the windows won't even close.
I understand. It sounds like it's mostly a functional issue and
Mhm.
yeah, your windows.
So the reason why I chose the ones without any
Grids.
grids is because the house is beautiful and it didn't have grids before. It looks like it has grids because that's the cheap storm windows that the prior owner stuck inside.
Okay, so the original windows.
It had like a T design, which is not anything that is available. I mean, I guess I could have something custom made, but as I said,
You know, those designs, I think you might be able to get something similar. It could be that maybe this brand of windows does not offer that option. But
I just had these windows put in another property I own in Ashford and Ashbury. I mean, and they're really good. And this company was just voted #1 windows by St. Louis Business Journal. So
These are vinyl windows.
Mhm.
So they're vinyl, I mean, they're plastic windows then. So, you know, there are options though. Usually all
Yeah.
these manufacturers have options. So are they, you said you could help us with which ones are where?
Yeah.
Are they mostly double hung windows?
They are all double hung windows except for, sorry,
The ones in the side.
I haven't been in the house in a while because I have someone living there, so.
Yeah, it looks like the ones on the side living room are being proposed to be sliders.
Yes, that's correct. And all the other ones.
All the rest are double hung.
Yeah. But as you said before, so these could be accessed from the ground to be cleaned. They're not up on at a high level where you wouldn't be able to get them cleaned. We just kind of picked those there because it seemed more functional, and also they fit better with what is currently there.
Are all the windows getting replaced or just some, or? It's
Well,
hard to
because
tell.
I said almost all the glass is broken.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, it's
Okay.
hard to review.
So I think it's pretty straightforward. They're all being replaced with double hung except for two
Yes,
on the side living room. And you're replacing the kitchen door with a full light glass door instead of
correct.
the half light that's there.
Very big gap
Yeah.
to where I think rodents could get through for sure. And also, despite the fact that it passed the inspection before I bought it, it is not up to code, all the lock and everything. So
Right.
I want to have it in code.
Yeah, I get it. All right, so I think I agree. Originally when I looked at this, I couldn't figure out what was going where. But after looking through it and your explanation, it's very helpful because the storm windows we're providing the question of, are there grids? And the answer is there are grids on the original, is what I heard you say, right? It's a T shape.
Yes, a T-shaped.
And
Only on some of them though.
and are they casements, the originals, or are they double hung? That's what my question was.
They were casement.
Hmm.
So why aren't, you could put back casement, are you just?
Well, because the casement, they didn't work anymore.
No, I meant the new ones, the new windows, just replace them with casements so you could put a similar kind of T shape there.
I think
kind of
that-
goes with a stucco style casement window.
It's been a while since I met with the guy, so, because I was rehabbing it in July, I think, or June, and so that's when I had my meeting. But I think that basically what it was it was not going to give you as much window light, the casement.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if you could do it in casement with the original T, that would be, awesome for the house's original character, right?
Yeah,
But that's not what's being presented tonight, so.
I think the neighbor directly to the east, she replaced hers. It's a sister house to this house, and her house looks great. So that was approved.
Okay. All right. So does anyone have any questions?
No, I think I'll just recuse myself for this vote because I just feel like I'm not totally clear on everything, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit out.
Anyone else? I'm fine. Okay. May I have a motion then on, 412 East Bradford Avenue?
I move to approve 412 East Bradford Avenue as submitted.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed.
All right.
Recused.
And yes, you're recused. What is something new?
Hope that's an option.
Yeah. So, oh,
How's a tie work?
right, a 2-2 tie.
I mean, I would feel comfortable voting if I had a more clear submittal. That's
Right, I think that was my question
Yeah.
for those who voted. And what is it can we clarify for the applicant what it is you'd like to see, I guess? It's basically more clear submittal.
Yeah, would it be helpful to have larger pictures of the elevation with the changes actually marked on the elevation as to what the window style is going in each opening rather than having to try to flip back and forth? Would that be helpful?
Yeah, and I guess I just don't know if I'm seeing the whole house with the little photos.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of trying to piece it together. I feel like I just don't feel totally confident, so I just don't want to vote on something where I'm not sure what I'm voting on.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's possible to get pictures of a full elevation and large enough to where the details could really be seen with the window, the new proposed windows actually marked on the exterior elevation, opening by opening, that would be a lot more clear, I think, with that.
Yeah.
So usually it's just a picture that's like covers the 8.5 by, you'd have the elevation and it would say this window's this and this window's, 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever. So you could see the whole thing at once, just on an 8.5 by 11. It doesn't have to be.
I have pictures on my phone
Yeah. I
right
think,
now.
right. I think we were just clarifying so that if you could resubmit it with that, then we could review it again, I think. Just a little more clarification.
Okay, I understand.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have 857 Clark Avenue.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolan. I'm the owner, and I'm a resident of Webster Groves as well.
Hey, Tim.
I understand from your pre-meeting that the FAR's got to come before the ARB review of the actual merits of the plan, which is a similar house to what we built on Marshall across from Maypop. I just wanted to give a little bit of background first. It was not my intention when we designed this house to ask for a FAR. I thought the house that we built was 3,200 square feet, and the architect and the surveyor also didn't tell me that the house was too large until I was filling out the ARB paperwork. So my apologies. And then I spoke with Priya Shan about what I would do for the FAR, and I was looking at the code, and I was surprised to find that ARB can approve up to a 40% FAR in this meeting here, not related to a hardship, but based upon like a different standard that I put in the review and that I put in the packet. So it's also, want to say that it's also pretty de minimis FAR that I'm asking for. It's not like I'm not asking for, because 30% is the code. I'm asking for, sorry, it's
31.86.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mary.
I'm sorry, how much is it?
31.86.
31 square feet?
No,
that's
193 square feet. So it's
the FAR.
I'm asking for a 1.8% increase in the FAR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not trying to be super large. And the house also sits really low in the valley of that area. And, what I tried to show in the adjacent property survey is that there's like big house, little house, big house, little house, typical Webster. I mean, it's what gives it great community, but, so I tried to put together a FAR with all the houses that were within, FAR, but an adjacent property survey of every house that was 150 feet. And then I added 2 that were on the street that are also like larger than the house that I would be building.
It looks like it's noted here that the FAR increase would be 200 square feet.
Yeah, it's 193. 193.
Yeah.
So you can't just make the house smaller?
I looked at the plans on it, and so like I looked at I was like, oh, I could take it out of the master bedroom, but then that ruins the kitchen, and then the distance from the cabinets, the island, and the stairs, it doesn't give it a 3-foot walkway. So I talked, Chris Pike is Webster architect, and he kind of agreed that everywhere where you take a chunk out of it, you basically ruin something. So.
But it's 3,000 square feet. It's not like we're got a 1,200 square foot house.
Yeah, but so like, okay, so, and it's interesting, like, because wouldn't you take it out of like one side or the other, right? And so it's like you end up, okay, then you
Maybe.
take out a toilet.
It's a new house, so you could take it out of anywhere. You're talking about just making it as easy as possible for yourself to do, the design and so forth. I guess to me.
True, and I guess my design professionals don't have any, I guess, culpability in the fact that like they also, like the architect you guys would check code, right? I checked when I bought the property if it met, and so if you're an architect, you would say, hey, this fits on there, and same with THD, the survey engineer. But again, I'm throwing myself in there. I'm the one who should have looked at it, but I would like to keep the house as designed. We built that similar model. We're going to build a less it's not a modern farmhouse. I also remember that you do not like modern farmhouses.
Don't like the term.
You don't like the term. Okay. Fair enough. But so it's not going to be a black and white one, and it's going to better match the community. So we like that house. It fit, it flowed well. So that's why I figured. I looked at it and was like, it's not a very large increase in FAR. So I figured it was a reasonable ask. So.
Yeah, I feel like my perspective on this is that the architect had a plan that was readily available.
Oh, it's my plan.
And the due diligence wasn't, it sounded like it was an after fact that, okay, now we need to support this FAR increase when.
I mean, what's the requested square footage increase?
200 square feet.
200.
So if you have 40 foot on a side, that's just taking away what, 2 feet? From that side, you can easily take a foot off one side and a foot off one side offside and be there and be at that number. Quick math for an architect.
Yeah.
We're bad at math.
Yeah.
But I am always. Yes.
Yeah. It's also just stated in the code that you guys can approve up to 40. And so.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And I don't want to make a habit out of it. I know you guys know that I built houses in Webster, and I don't want to be doing this every time.
And just as a note of caution, when you do pretty much a complete set of plans like this and just hope, oh golly, I hope it gets approved, it might not work. So it is putting your project at considerable risk to say, okay, well,
absolutely.
let's just, design this over the FAR and, hope for the best.
No, that was not my intention. So when I was filling out, there's a form for the building permit that is basically the FAR calculation. And then I relooked at it and I was like, and I looked at the code and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm 193 feet larger. Because the whole time we were doing this. No, it's never my intention to buy a property and pay architects, people to develop it, to come up here and beg for approval. So no, I would.
So I have to say, I understand. I believe you completely that was not your intention.
Yeah.
But you did hire professional people who are supposed to look at this and not just slap down some plans like Tracy said and not do the calculation. That's their job.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they didn't do it. I'm sorry. I am not going to say it's okay because they didn't do their due diligence.
Okay.
So that's my view.
What about on the merits of what it says in the zoning is that like, basically it says like what is required, I'm sorry, get my glasses on.
I understand what you're saying.
So we know what it says and
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. So for me to approve something like that, there has to be extenuating circumstances. It can't be a new house. A new house that's 3,000 square feet. I have no understanding why we would make an exception for that at all. Because it's brand new. I just don't know why you didn't design it to the codes like everyone else has to. So that's just my standpoint. I understand that we could make an exception, but for me, that comes from different circumstances than this.
Yeah, I guess it basically ends with like finding that not based on personal preference or taste of the architectural style, that it doesn't impact the value of the houses around it. And I respect your point of view as well. So it just seemed like when I read through the code that, we're basically looking at something and going, you know, I did the adjacent property survey and yeah, so I say my piece. I don't want to get into an argument with anybody. I respect everything that you guys do. And I expect your time here because you've got an hour and a half into this already and it's Thursday and it's also 66 degrees in here. So it's pretty cold.
Yeah,
I don't know if they
it
let
is
you turn the
cold.
heat on in here or not. But
So haven't we, we've had some of these in the past where, the neighborhood map, so when I was looking at this the other night, I'm going back in time. I've been doing this I think too many years. I'm trying to remember what year this was when someone submitted the square footages of all the houses in the neighborhood. This is kind of your diagram here, but I'm not seeing square footages and the size of the lot versus the houses that are on the street.
So the
Help us understand the neighborhood and not just, the pictures are helpful.
Yeah, no,
But
I
it's more
agree.
than-
And I wrote a description for each one of them based upon like the sizes. We did look at to try to determine, hey, the square footage of the lot and then the square footage of the house. The square footage of the houses, it's kind of hard because St. Louis County's got different records in Zillow. And then you look at also, and it's like, that's not the right square footage of the house. It's like the yellow house is supposed to be like 2,000 square feet, and it's clearly like 4,000 square feet. I mean, it's a large house. So, and I would say also that I don't think that any of those particular houses, because the houses that are within 150 feet are, besides the house behind us is a large one, but the one next to the left is a smaller house, smaller lot. We actually shifted the house over to the right so that we would be close to it. And so that we would be closer to the larger house on the other side. So but that's just more about sitting a house for us. Like we don't try to jam it next to a neighbor's house. So we don't want it to be the Kirkwood situation where you're like touching houses. I don't think that has value. And I also think it looks bad. So anyways, I'm rambling. I'll let you guys.
To Bob's point, what we're usually accustomed to seeing is that a site plan that says, okay, this house here is this address and this is the size of it. So we can see the adjacent properties. When we're just looking at a written list of paragraphs that has addresses on it, we really don't get a feeling of like what a streetscape would look like. And the properly done submittals do have that information, and they also have an accurate streetscape, so we can see the mass of the proposed house in the context of the neighborhood. And I do appreciate that it looks like this house was pushed back a bit, so it doesn't quite overshadow the smaller neighbors as much. That helps a little. But yeah, just a more clear submittal on the FAR request is very helpful in not only for us, but to expedite your project.
Yeah, I understand. So I actually asked, I asked Prishan and I asked my architect, I said, should we do a streetscape? Because in the city, when you propose a new house in the city of St. Louis, they want you to do a streetscape to see how it fits into the neighborhood in terms of massing and size and things like that. So
yeah, I think a streetscape is really helpful. And also, as Carol pointed out, thank you for that. Because it's exact square footages of context, because it's really about context.
Yeah.
And not just the pictures.
Yeah.
But it's the scale of the street and it's the accurate home square footages to their lot size. That's what other architects have done when they're asking for a FAR increase that's beyond 30%.
Yeah.
And it would, in the past, I'm remembering some situations similar to this where it's like the house next door is 32 and the house next door. So we're going for, so I don't see any of that information when I saw your FAR request, or initially I thought, well, this is a brand new house. As an architect that's designed houses here, the first thing I do is make sure the square footages match. And so I wonder what, is it because of the context, but it's not really clear because the context hasn't been clarified for me to want to make a vote and, you know, in the positive for the FAR. So I would want to see that. I think I would want to see that before I could even vote on the FAR
Yeah,
myself.
fair enough. I guess my last point would just be that it is a very small FAR increase in mass before. And so
Right.
that's why I feel like it's,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Right. I think I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where I'm at on it. I would want to see, that list, you know, that we already described, if that makes sense. Do
Okay.
you have any questions about the square footages of the houses nearby? Or, you know, I think if it's not under, you know, if it's under, you're good.
Yeah,
So,
fair enough. Okay.
okay, so we'll table this, and if you want to resubmit either a revised plan or more
Yeah,
information to support the
I'll
FAR.
probably just tell them like, hey, guys, you got to design a house that fits. So we'll take a look at it. And then, thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so where are we? All right. Next, 479 Algonquin Place. Is that where we're at? I think so.
Finally.
I think so, yeah.
Hey, I'm Luke Poyo, representing for the owner of 479 Algonquin, architect. I heard you guys weren't feeling the gable in the pre-meeting.
I think that was one comment.
I mean, it was a question, right? We're looking at it for the first time. That was one of them for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's talk through it.
Yeah. Well, I think Angela brought it up as well. It just felt like when you're looking at the back of the house, I don't know. Did you consider a hip back there?
Yeah, so while you guys were going through your other meetings, I modeled up a new scheme if you want to look at it. But I talked to the client and they said, I mean, he likes the gable because he thinks it matches the front of the house. That's why we went in that direction. And, you know, he's willing to reconsider it. And I'm out of the hip version because I think, I mean, he cares about the aesthetics, but he also wants to get through the spinal process too. So I think he's open to that if, you know, if that makes this go through more easily. And then I think I heard a comment about the awning too, which I think is helpful to come here early. I don't know if other people do that, but and we can address that too. I have modeled a new scheme if you guys want to look at it. But I mean, if the gable roof is still in play, you know, I think the client would prefer that. So it's kind of I'm flexible, but I just wanted to kind of see where you guys were on it.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, seeing it for the first time, right? So.
Yeah, and I would say the back, we've gone round and round on that roof because like the back of the house roof lines are really complicated. And so to like merge this master bedroom addition with, there's another addition in the back you can see on the existing photos, which is a hip roof. And each one of these roofs has a different pitch to it. So it was like, we've gone several versions, and the version you're seeing is the one the client liked the best.
So, you know, when you do this is preliminary. So,
yeah,
right. When you do it, sometimes people bring in two options. So if you really, you know, think this is the way you want to go, but we're still all looking at it as a hip might look better. You could bring in both, you can give us both drawings and say you prefer the one that's gable, but you know what I mean? Like if you make it so that something you're willing to go with, the client's willing to work with, or you know what I mean? You can give us two options.
Gotcha.
That is a choice.
Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, we're hoping to get a approval from the ARB tonight, but with the scheme we submitted, but if it's a no-go with the gable, we're happy to go down the hip roof too.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a question. It wasn't a yes or no vote. It was a, did you consider hip roof?
Gotcha.
So what's going on with the awning? Why is it cantilevered out?
So they want to be able to park a car out there that's protected from the elements. And, you know, we're looking at some kind of, you know, like light structure, like an aluminum framed, you know, either a canvas awning or put a metal panel on it, you know, something like that. And we pulled it around the front because we just wanted to add some interest to that front facade. But the function of it is to, you know, protect a car. So, because I think they have, you know, they have a 2-car garage and they have kids and they want to just be able to pull in through their driveway and have another protected area.
There's no real details or anything. So this is like a canvas awning?
Yeah, we haven't like 100% worked it out, but like it's either going to be like an aluminum framed thing that's mounted on the side of the house, or like, you know, we got an engineer on board, or we might take the floor joist from the master bedroom and poke them through, and they will help support that.
I mean, it seems like if functionally a great idea, it's just more of how we're, you know, what we're looking at versus what the client wants to do. It seems like you'd want it permanent and low maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, if that's really, they're looking for a covered carport, then it really should probably be more permanent. Maybe it's something similar to that side entry.
And they don't want to,
you know, that roof that projects off the side. I don't know, I'm looking at the elevation, whatever side this is, the reverse side has the little, but something a little more permanent and lightweight, but that matches the architecture of the house. I don't know. I was just thinking about it for the first time. I mean, obviously I'm looking at this.
right. And so they don't want a column, because if they put a column down, they can't turn their vehicles around because it's a super tight space.
Oh, I wasn't saying a column. I was saying you know, I'm trying to understand, is it what the structure of it is? It's
right.
Kind of drawn as a concept, but not really defined.
I mean,
So I don't know what we're, you know, trying to.
It's very thin.
Yeah.
A little bit of it, right? So it doesn't look like there's any structure at all.
So right now, I mean, it's modeled as like a lightweight canvas awning, and like those you can typically put a metal panel or canvas on, and like I called that out in the drawings because I don't think we've made a decision on where we're going with that yet, but like you see them a lot on like front of, you know, stores, like probably in downtown Webster they have them, but you know, they're just,
So it's just got like
it's an
metal, the little bit of metal that holds it, what
yeah,
holds it up, yeah.
it's just a aluminum frame. They're probably like an inch square tubes that create like a little structure that holds it up. I have one on my building that's been there for like 10 years, and it's super thin, and they can cantilever my, I mean, like my pitch might not be 100% accurate because, you know, it's usually a pre-manufactured thing, so they will have to give us the final design of it, but you know.
So that canvas would go across, so that part doesn't make that much sense to me, that it would go across the front of the garage if it was that material. Like if it was something more permanent, it would be like I don't understand what it would look like really going across the front of the garage.
Yeah. And we can, I think it's okay if we get like remove that part too. I mean, that's that's fine. I mean, I think it was, when I was reviewing it with the client, they wanted to add more dynamic to that facade, so we took that in front of it. And I think it's really like talking to like a Lawrence Fabric and having those guys, you know, engineer and make it work. But then I'm pretty sure they could, I mean, I know it's in the realm of possibility. I've done these before, but you know, like they will give the final engineering on it. It's not something like I would figure out. It was a pre-manufactured thing, basically. So,
Right.
so it's kind of really feel like,
Right, so the intent is that it's a permanent aluminum or steel frame that would be exposed from underneath. You would see the framing.
Right.
And then you're not sure if it's canvas or would be standing seam or something
Yeah,
else.
we hadn't talked to, I think I left both those options. I called those out as either standing seam or canvas in my,
Right.
in my notes. Yeah, we haven't made a decision on that yet. And there might be, I mean, it depends on the capabilities of the structure. Maybe they'll say it can only be fabric. That's kind of
because of the weight or something.
Yeah.
You know, for me, the caliber of this house and this awning cantilever construction does not match. It just is, to me, it's just for the caliber of this house, it just seems kind of incoherent. And that the part that comes around and is above the garage door, if that were made of canvas, to me, it would just, you know, it's narrow. It's not really doing a whole lot functionally. It's just a miss for me, design wise. I appreciate the desire to add more interest to that elevation. I just think that there would be a different way to do it other than just kind of arbitrarily pulling that awning structure around. I mean, if you want to look at some other options to add interest to that area above the garage door, I think that would be great. And then maybe for me anyway, make that carport area, instead of making it a hip, just carry it through straight. Because to me, that hip dies at an uncomfortable spot on that wall. So if you were to omit the part that comes around the facade above the garage door and just kind of clean up the other canopy part and make it look a little more substantial somehow. I mean, even with something like maybe, you know, like a deeper fascia or, you know, something that's more consistent with the caliber of the house. Because when you look at the photographs of this house, you know, especially from the front, it's like, yes, this is a substantial house. It was built to last. We put this here with intention. And then we've got this kind of metal wing sticking up the side. It just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to the idea of having that carport. I just like to see it look more thought out. And have a more substantial appearance to it, perhaps.
I hear you. I hear
you. I think for me to have a modern addition put on this house, it has, you know, it's sort of a transformative house anyway. It goes from this traditional front to some more of a modern back. It's really interesting that way. That as I'm looking at the existing photos, I don't know which side of the house it is, but it's the second, or it's the photo in the bottom right of their third page, kind of shows that small little canopy over the side door. So that was whatever the original architecture was. So the idea that I think it's really cool, like to reinterpret that into a more modern way, which is kind of what you're doing with your awning. but I'm not seeing the detail. I'm not saying it has to match this, but I conceptually like that idea. I think it's a way to like bring it to the next level, but I think it's just missing the detail. It's sort of like what Carol said. I think it's missing, it's a idea that hasn't been completely refined yet. I think it would be for this house, maybe, if there was a decision made on the actual material and we actually knew proportions, all of it, not just, it might be like this and this is what we're gonna hope for. And then really, what happens at the front? I don't know. Do you want a canopy over the front of the garage functionally? Should there be a freeze board that ties it, or is the canopy structure come all the way around at a grade or depth? There's other ways to think about how that might be built. I don't know. It looks like a sketch that's not quite finished as far as the canopy on the submittal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of thinking out loud because I'm just seeing it for the first time.
No, dude, I mean, it's all, I've been through architecture school. Yeah. Not.
Right.
easily
No.
offended, you know.
Right. No, right. I think that's a question to me. If it was, just on the side, that would be fine. But if the client, you really wanted it along the main face of the garage, the way it's being done doesn't seem quite like it fits the architecture of the rest of the decisions that have gone into the house. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not opposed to a contemporary addition on this house, not at all. It's just, the execution and the details and just kind of making it a little more defined and coherent with what's there. And if you're going to have something above that garage door, for me, it would be to have it be functional or don't have it. The sort of little.
Right. I mean, it is like shedding water away from the portal of the garage. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's doing that, like it's mentioned.
Like it's about this
It
big.
looks like it's about this big. I mean,
Yeah, but it's still, I get what you're saying. I think all your comments are valid. I don't think you're off base, and I think we can work through a solution on that. And I guess beyond the canopy, what about the other aspect?
The rest of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the gable was just something I saw. I don't think it's there's other ways to look at the massing on that, but I'm not really opposed to it. I'm missing some detail. If it's gonna be a big massive gable, I really haven't had time to think that through, but it seems like your other gables in the house have something up there. They got a little round, you got a round
Yeah, a little
bin on the
window.
front, or you've got a square one on the side. Like, are you thinking something like that to tie them together? I don't know. Something to help
The round vent, round something.
since the homeowner wants it to look like the front of the house. Is that something you guys talked about
Yeah, he liked that idea.
or consider? I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. Help build it up or like give us something there.
Mhm.
Proportions of the fascia, matching the existing house, I assume. All the details, is it stucco? I don't know.
It's a stucco house, so
And-
that'd be additional match.
Yeah, all the news stucco to match.
So, and one thing about the way the gable is drawn, it's like the whole thing is inset, like there's a little ledge at, like where the eave is. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. And I think that's what partly
So
makes
there's
it
a-
unappealing.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
so it would be nice if I could take the whole roof and just go straight across with it, but because of where the garage is, I had to like almost separate the gable going north-south with the gable going east-west, and that's why they're offset, because if I would have put them in exact alignment, It's kind of hard to explain.
Oh, I mean, like, so down at, who knows if you can see what I'm
The
doing?
bottom of
But the
triangle.
bottom of this gable,
Yeah.
right here, the bottom, it's almost like, why is there this piece that comes across that's sticking out?
Oh, that's the cover of the porch of the,
Why doesn't the gable cover the porch?
Right.
Like, what's the bottom piece? It's not very thick. And it seems
Oh,
like
I
water
see.
would sit on top of it.
Right.
I don't know. Usually when people would do that, they'd make like the little, what do you call it? There's a name for the style with has a shed basically from.
yeah, that's
Right.
kind of what.
I don't know if that's what you're thinking, but that's not what the other ones look like. They would be open there, or you could put a freeze board, but it would be of the same plane as the stucco part.
Mhm.
And then maybe something over the top. Have a freeze board that looks like it supports the whole thing. So even that, on the side, it doesn't look like the roof has any support. Because the trusses have to sit on, if you just put trusses out there, they have to sit on something.
Yeah, they can do I forget what it's called, but basically they can like almost cantilever out framing in the other direction. I've seen them do that before. I mean, we got a wall on the east side.
Yeah, the other side has a
Yeah.
wall, right? I kept thinking that you could put a wall, but I wouldn't want a wall myself. I
Yeah,
understand why
yeah.
there's a wall on the other side, but and if they don't want the column, they just like that notion of that open corner.
Right.
Okay, that's fine, but it's needs a, something's got to support it, so.
I mean, basically, I'm pretty sure when it's engineered, they'll just take a stud that goes through it cantilevers from the gable roof out, and attaches to the second gable roof in. So it's kind of attached to two and then it cantilevers out. I've seen them do it on houses. I think we can make it work.
It's to be, but it has
Yeah.
to sit on something. So you know what I'm saying? It's, when you say it cantilevers out, it's not going to be a 2x4 sticking out there. It's going to be much larger than that. Because that's a little distance. It looks like,
Right. Full beam. Either steel or glue lam.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
wrapped,
yeah.
right? Because if your plate line is at the bottom of your soffit, there'll be something that cantilevers out there to support it.
Yeah.
Your structural engineer might tell you.
Well, I mean, I think we can resolve it. I mean,
So I would think in general, I think the concept is, my view is, I think there's a lot of, the overall approach is fine. I think I'm just missing some details. This hasn't quite finished up, and maybe that's what's missing is that layer of information of how it's going to be structured and what exactly the material of the awning is going to be. Those decisions, and then, we know what we're looking at for sure, not guessing.
because one thing, so for one thing like the awning, when you talk about those being the canvases that you see in commercial places, you actually do see the metal structure underneath. So we
Yeah.
would see that looking here, right? You would see that structure. So we should see everything. That's sort of what we're looking at, to see what is this going to look like? And that's what we're making our decision on. And so if not everything is here, we're not necessarily on the same page. Maybe you think it's going to look different than we do. That doesn't work out then. And we need it to be drawn, how it's going to be built, so that we can say yes to that. And then it's built that way and everybody's happy. Rather than it's built a different way than we thought it would and everybody's confused and it comes back or something like that. We don't want that.
Mhm.
yeah, I understand. And I mean, for my side, I'm trying to balance, I don't want to design a project to completion and then get a no. So I got to balance how far I can take details and stuff like you're
Right.
asking for.
Right, so I think that, I mean, this isn't the first time we've had these kind of conversations, so I think that's what I'm saying is, I think it's missing information. And it sounds like you're close to having it resolved, but I would want to see the finality of those decisions. And I'd also want to see, you know, is there something in the gable or not? We already talked about. You want an open corner, that's fine with me. Are there any other details that are missing that aren't being shown here? So,
Yeah, and I agree with Bob in that the overall thing, that I think that's fine. It's just some of the details of it. The overall concept was fine with me. I would.
right, it's
That's
just
fine.
like in a way, preliminary design concept, which, you know, we review all the time and say, yeah, this is great. Can you finish it? And then before we vote on it, that's how I feel about this one, if that makes sense.
I agree. And, you know, just, we understand about walking the line between not taking your project too far and having to change too much, because we've all been on both sides of this table, so we get it.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you could just kind of talk with your client, get some of those decisions more in place and reflected on the drawings, I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what you're hearing tonight is that in general, the approach is good. There's a few things that you need to solidify on the drawings so that we know what we're voting on specifically.
You know how to support the cantilever. There's there's like a beam coming out from the top plate, and, you know.
Right, so like
an outrigger or something, yeah.
Right, so I think if you could make those decisions, I mean, that's just where I'm at. I don't know, Tracy or.
Just had the note on the garage windows, they were showing up in elevations, but not in the plan.
Really?
Like on the carport side, there are two windows.
I think what happened was I'm probably not cutting it high enough in the
Oh,
funnel.
yeah.
They're there.
Yeah,
I can fix that. There will be windows there, if that's what you're asking.
yeah, I think windows are nice,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, the windows are great. Okay.
So in general, the gable concept is fine. I just need to clarify how I'm dealing with the frieze and the cantilever corner.
Right.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the awning structure more
Yeah.
defined?
Yeah, and the gable, like what's that look like exactly? Yeah.
And I mean, we can I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but you pointed out on the west facade, there's some kind of structure for a canopy already. I mean, I could see us doing something like that. I mean, with that,
I was just saying that, and that was a general support of the idea of the awning.
Yeah.
I just don't know what your awning looks like, so. So that's the next step, right? That's what you're doing next. You're figuring out how the awning's gonna look and how I'm gonna strut, and you're gonna have that in the drawings. So then we could really see the final result and not a question about how it's gonna look.
Understood. I guess I'm thinking of timeline now. So I
think they usually say by Tuesday, we can get revisions in by the next week, Tuesday, to get on the next agenda. At least
Yeah.
that's what they've told applicants in the past. So that you don't have to wait like another cycle, try to get in on the next meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there a meeting next Thursday?
Oh, that's right.
No, it'll be the 6th of November, so that gives you some time just to kind of think through some of that with the client
Yeah.
and finalize the questions we have so that we know what you're gonna build and what we're gonna approve for your client that they're gonna love. So.
Well, I was talking to him because I thought you guys were gonna nix the gable. I was like, we can do a hip, but okay. I think he'd be happy. He'd be happy with the gable. I just need to.
Yeah, I think that was a suggestion. And
Okay.
so if you guys like the gable, that was the other question is, are you gonna do anything else in the gable? Are you gonna put something up there to make it look like the front? So I think you understand the questions now
Yeah.
that are still left. So with that, we can table that, and then, yeah, if you get it in by, I'll let Jim say, I'm not.
Early next week.
Early next week. Okay, I could do that.
then we could,
Like would Tuesday work? Okay, because I don't know how quickly we can work to get it Monday. All right, cool.
all right,
I appreciate it,
All
everyone.
right.
Thanks for
yeah,
fitting that one in.
absolutely. All right, we have one more still.
Yep.
There's a preliminary, it's 119 Jersey Avenue, new construction. This is preliminary. Anyone online?
Looks like we don't have anyone online,
Okay.
but this is preliminary, new construction. Sure, there's nobody out there. Maybe he's.
Oh, there is no one. Sorry.
There's nobody to talk
If
to.
you have any comments, recommendations, under preliminary, like.
Oh, it is preliminary, I suppose, so we could,
Use
take
time
notes.
to make preliminary comments.
I like the preliminary rendering.
Yeah.
I liked that. It's well done. One thing I was wondering about is on the rear elevation, that back door, it seems like it could use a little cover or something. I really didn't have many comments on this.
Gotta be honest, I was so busy, I hadn't had a chance to, this came late, I think, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really have a
Did we get it
chance to see
yesterday?
it.
Yeah.
My preliminary comment would be for bedroom in the center to consider adding another window. Just, I don't know what elevation that falls on. Maybe it's the left side. But I think when I was looking at the left side elevation, I felt like there's a lot of, you know, a lot of material on that wall. Is there an opportunity for any other fenestration? And I saw the bedroom and I thought, I always felt like bedrooms are better when they have more than one window. So that was a suggestion I would make. I'm not sure if any thought was given to doing this similar kind of thing for the bonus room or the stair. Just
Yeah, a window on the stair landing would be kind of neat
Something.
because it's,
Yeah.
I always love the off window that lets you know something about the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was one other spot that I kind of wondered about. I'm just kind of looking at it for the first time, sorry. But maybe not. I think, yeah, I think that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree with the additional bedroom window and, I think the style of the house is really nice. And on this style of house, this amount of fenestration works, where it might not work on other styles.
Right, it's actually modern, like it's a very contemporary style and sticks with it the whole time.
Yes, yes.
All right, anything else? Okay, I think we're done with our preliminary comments. And with that, I believe we are adjourned. Thank you all and good night.